Michigan fans, Michigan women's hockey is live and on the air. We are live high atop of Yost Ice Arena here, looking down on Red Berenson Rink, and it is your Michigan women's hockey team as they are ready to take on the University of Utah. Michigan is 2-1-1 starting off the season with the draw 3-3 versus Michigan State. Then they fell 3-1 versus Adrian College, but last weekend they had a pair of wins, 1-0 at Lake Superior State that on Saturday, and then 2-0 for the game on Sunday that started at noon. Let's dig into that just a little bit more, taking a look at that last game, which was Sunday, started at noon. It started off no penalties in the first. In the first, it was Maria DeCreasy scoring her second goal of the season. Gargiulo on the assist. That was at 10:44 in the first. In the second, there were a pair of penalties. Matthews picked up a tripping call, that at 3:24, and then at 19:54, it was Dremko for holding. No scoring in the second. Then in the third at 2:21, it was Simmer with their first goal of the season. That put Michigan up 2-0 at 2:21. Forehand went off for roughing in the third, and then at 6:47, Dremko went off for interference. Ponith faced 35 shots on goal, saved 35 shots on goal, a pair of shutouts for the weekend. What a fantastic performance she had. And then Miller on the other side in that game faced 24 shots on goal, saved 21 of them. Your top point getters so far offensively on the season, DeCreasy has 2 points with 2 goals. Goldman has a point with a goal. Lindahl has a point with a goal. Rubin has a point with a goal. And Simmer has a point with a goal, as well as Swanson with a point with a goal. The assist, Eliason has a point with an assist. Evans a point with an assist. And Gargiulo with a point with a assist. Those are your point getters so far for for Michigan. Poneth, between the pipes, she has got that goals against average down to 1.50. Saves, 133 saves. Save percentage, just an outstanding 9.57 with 2 shutouts. So she has been absolutely fantastic. Taking a look on the other side versus University of Utah. As I flip that around, they are 1-3. If you look in the ACHA, they are 0-3. For some reason, their game on the 7th versus Colorado doesn't show in the ACHA website, but according to their website, it was a 1-0 win. That was their lone win. They fell to Arizona State in a pair of games at the Oceanside Ice Arena. That was on September 30th. They fell 2-0, and then on October 1st, they fell 3-2 to Arizona State University. On the 7th, they had that 1-0 win over at University of Boulder Recreation Center. We were there, what was that, 2 years ago with the team? That was a good time. And then they fell to Colorado 3-0 on Saturday, October 8th, that over in Boulder. Taking a look at that last game that Utah played, penalties in the first. There's no scoring in the first or in the second. Brown for Colorado took a 2-minute checking penalty in the first at 4:56. Then at 6:13, Holloway went off for interference for Colorado. At 8:15, Weber for Utah went off for roughing. In the second, again, no scoring in the second, but, all the scoring. Trying to look. There were 2 scores in the second. Brown scored for Colorado. Furla with the assist, as well as Wallace, that at 3 minutes into the second. And then 6:18 in the second, it was Aarons scoring, no assist on that one. Penalties in the second, it was McCain for Utah taking a checking penalty 42 seconds in. 1:15, it was Kistner for checking for Utah. And then at 8:04, it was Cruikshank going off for checking. At 8:04, also going off was Sandstra for Colorado, 2 minutes for checking. And then at 9:28, it was Ellsworth for Utah going off for holding. In the third, 1 lone goal. Sachs had the goal. Brown on the assist. That was Sachs' first goal, Brown's third assist. Brown took a penalty for Colorado, that for holding at 3:28. And then Weber went off for Utah at 10:18 for checking. Taking a look at the top scores, Caps. Gracie Caps has the single point with a goal for Utah. Harris has a point for a goal for Utah. An assist to Bai, an assist to Ellsworth, an assist to Hansen. And those are your scores. But again, that single goal in the win, probably not on the ACHA boards that I put everything out there. It has been predominantly D'Antonado playing all 3 games thus far in goals. She has a 141 goals against average, 935 save percentage, saving 100 shots on goal. Although earlier it looked like Griswold was possibly going to get going. Let's pull up and see if we can get the bubble stretching out for you. Hard to hear Griswold coming out in goal. It was Hendry starting as well. And coming out Stevenson for the Utes. Caps also starting, has a goal on the season for the Utes. Hansen also starting for Utah. And Kistner coming out starting for Utah. As head coach, Coach Yao, assistant coaches, Coach Stett and Coach Flyer. Now coming out in goal for Michigan is Poneth. Also coming out is Forehand on the defensive side, as well as Katie German. On the offense, coming out is Evans, skating to the blue line. as well as the captain Ruben, and coming out Lindahl, the other starter at goal. Coaches for Michigan, Coach Tribbiano is the head coach, Coach Glisson, Inman, and Upton are the assistant coaches. Now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, the playing of the national anthem. Fantastically sung rendition of the Star Spangled Banner down in the scorer's box right below us. 20 minutes up on the clock as we are getting ready to go here live from Yost Ice Arena. At the next intermission, we'll see if we can pull up some ACHA scores, although I'm not sure how much has happened between our last game and this game. We'll also talk about the next 5 games. I have a fun graphic to put up there again. I didn't get too many of those graphics set up as I didn't have a computer that could run Photoshop on us up in the zoo. So trying to get back to that a little bit. Michigan coming over to get those fantastic wing helmets on Michigan in their white jerseys with the numbers in dark blue on the back outlined in maize, as well as on the right shoulder and smaller on the front. Michigan in block lettering on the front. They have the dark blue pants with the maize stripe on the side. The Utah Utes have their dark red jerseys on, numbers in white on the shoulders and on the back and on the right above the heart. They have the Utah Utes logo on the front and dark pants with a red stripe on them. If you are watching and you need to step out and take a drive, pick up some goods or things of that nature, we do have a audio-only broadcast that you can continue to watch and not get in trouble while listening to it on the car. That's going to be right underneath the video player on the Arbor Broadcasting page for the Michigan women's hockey team. As Ruben in to take the face-off, Hansen on the other side. As that puck comes back in along the near board, Stevenson brings it in, fires it deep into the Michigan zone. That in along the end boards, chasing it into the far corner. Tipped away by Kistner. Now trying to pull it away is Katie German. Katie German feeds it into the neutral zone. That tipped and back into the Utah zone. Coming ahead with it, Ruben tips it. And it's loose coming over onto the near side. Here comes Caps with it. Caps with a shot, and Ponnet sticks that into the near corner. In the near corner it goes. Coming ahead with it is Ruben. Ruben moves it ahead to Lindahl, coming down the near side of the boards. Lindahl gains the zone. Her shot got blocked. Out in front, Caps brings it the other direction for the Utes. Caps over her own blue line, sends it ahead. And to Cruikshank. Cruikshank fires it down the far boards and slips back and along the end boards of the Michigan zone. Bryce loses an edge but puts it in along the near boards. That's held in by at the near point. Now Bailey has it on the near circle. Knocked away by Bailey from Bryce. Back behind. Trying to pull it over. Shutt has it outside the near circle. Shutt Ricochets it back to Bai at the near point. Bai shot, that was blocked by Simmer. Here comes Simmer on a breakaway. Simmer gets back behind the defense. Simmer with the shot, save, coming over, shot, and a goal by DeCreasy. It was started off with a beautiful breakaway by Simmer, and Griswold got the save, but then following that up was DeCreasy with her third goal of the season. That at 18:31, and Michigan has the lead. That's a fine way to start this game. And nothing against Griswold, did everything she could do. That comes in along the far boards, trying to fire it in. Was Swanson back on the Michigan blue line, trying to poke it deep. Was Proctor now coming over. Malashevsky has it outside the far circle. Malashevsky puts it in along the end boards. Malashevsky trying to pull it away, get it out in front. That knocked away in along the far boards. Bringing it ahead is Kistner. Kistner fires it all the way back into the Michigan zone. Izzy German chases it into the far corner. Izzy German pokes it ahead. Swanson has it now over to Proctor outside the near circle. That knocked away. Shut. Stealing that pass outside the near circle. Proctor trying to pull it back away from her. And puck still loose outside the near circle. Now Stevenson comes along with it, fires it back in along the end boards of the Michigan zone. And pulled back behind by Kolwich. Kolwich trying to fire it back over. Proctor outside the near circle, brings it ahead. Bad pass knocked down again by Stevenson. That was offsides, I believe. No, that would be a high stick, excuse me. So that's going to come back into the Utah zone. That's going to be to Griswold's left in the near face-off circle. As in taking the face-off, Gargiulo versus Shutt on the other side. That slips right through the slot in along the far boards. Crookshank has it there, trying to knock it away is Gargiulo, pulling it back behind. Hendry sends it outside the near circle. Now Levinson battling a trio of Utah Utes. Puts it back in along the near boards, trying to knock it away from Bailey, trying to get it into the far corner. That swept, trying to get it out in front. Stevenson sends it to the blue line, but not out. That ricochets off of the far boards. Still digging in along the far boards. That sent out into the neutral zone. Gargiulo drifts back into our own zone, trying to avoid pressure from Crookshank. Gargiulo spins the other way. Two Utah players going back behind her. Now ahead, here comes Eliason. That knocked right back in front of the Utah bench. Coming along the near boards, here comes Crookshank. Crookshank comes in and dumps it deep and along the end boards and goes off for a line change. Forehand, trying to get it away and lift it back to the blue line. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl moves it ahead. Rubin has it on the far circle. Rubin out in front to Lindahl, and that puck just wouldn't stay on her stick. Came off to the near side. Right through the slot. Rubin with the shot. Another shot by Lindahl. Again chipping away at it. The puck back behind the goal, and it got stuck on the netting back behind the goal. But a couple fantastic opportunities for Michigan as Griswold has had to come up big early. 16:06 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. As Eileen Eichel taking the face-off, that brought back. Moving over to the near side. Weber fed it ahead. Now that lifted. Coming in with it is Harris. Harris sends it deep and along the end boards of the Michigan zone. Levinson picks it up there, but there was a whistle and offsides the call. That will come back out in the far face-off circle just outside the Michigan zone, right in front of the Michigan bench. As Matthews in to take the face-off. Hendry on the other side, or Hansen on the other side. Apps trying to get to it right at the center logo. Moved over. Here comes Michigan. Simmer brings it down. She had the breakaway that led to the first goal. Now Matthews with the shot. Griswold with the save. Michigan continuing to keep pressure on Griswold, firing shot after shot. Michigan with the 1-0 lead here. 15:52 left to go here in the first. Face-off to Griswold's right in the far face-off circle. Hansen continuing to take the face-off. Michigan gets a line change. Kolwich and Izzy German are to the defenders. Olszewski comes in to take the face-off versus Hansen. And puck loose on the far circle. Brought outside, coming down the far way. Here comes Kistner. Kistner has that knocked away right in front of the Michigan bench. Kolwich trying to bring it out. Now Kistner right into the zone. Puck right back into the neutral zone. Coming over with it. Hendry over to Caps. Caps sends it along the near boards. Into the near corner it goes. Izzy German picks it up there. Back behind her own goal. Izzy German now comes over her own blue line. Izzy German coming down the near side of the ice. Fires it deep into the Utah zone. Into the far corner it goes. Hendry trying to get it. Right outside. Kistner trying to send it back, but Kolwich fires it deep. Olszewski trying to get it. And pulled back by Caps. Caps has it back behind her own goal. Rims it all the way around outside the far circle. And pucking along the end boards. Trying to pull it out in front and covered up by Griswold. Good opportunity as Eliasson tried to pull it off the boards and fire it out in front. Griswold able to get onto that puck. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. Shot on the other side for the Utes. All the way back to the far point. Katie German with the shot. That deflected out in front. As that was a good play back there by Beck. That ricochets off the far boards. Here comes Beck for Utes. Back onto the near circle in the Michigan zone. Eliasson brings it over her own blue line. And puck loose in the neutral zone. Bailey backhands it. But that's grabbed by Forehand. Forehand trying to get it into the Utah zone. Now coming over, top of the near circle, as Ceballos has it. Back over to Forehand. Forehand back over to Ceballos. And puck on the near circle, knocked away. Now Katie German took a shot, couldn't get everything on that one. And pulled back over, Crookshank has it. Now shot right at the far point in her own zone. And sent back, Beck will have it, and along the end boards, Beck feeds it to Bai in the near corner of her own zone. Sent ahead to Bailey, who one touches it over to Schutt, over her own blue line. Knocked away by Levinson, but Schutt backhands it deep into the Michigan zone. Forehand picks it up and along the end boards of her own zone. Forehand sends it in along the near boards. That intercepted, trying to bring it right back in as that was knocked away. As ML Eichel had it. Puck comes and along the end boards into the near corner. Levinson feeds it ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl coming down the near boards of the neutral zone. Lindahl gets into the zone. Offsides the call. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. 13:07 left to go here in the first period. Face-off in the near face-off circle just outside of the Utah zone. Matthews in to take the face-off. As Aline Eichel puts it back into the far corner. Matthews trying to pull it off the board. Stop at the far circle, then slips back. Hope checked out into the far corner by Griswold. Sent right back by Harris into the near corner. Pulling it ahead, Weber switches directions. Weber underneath the near circle, sends it over onto the far boards. Harris trying to pull it out. DeCreasy sends it right back in. DeCreasy with the opening goal of this game. She has 3 so far. And centering attempt, that just goes wide. DeCreasy chasing it in along the far boards. That tipped, picked up. Bryce taking a shot. That knocked down out in front. Good job by Weber. Pulling back to the far point. Able to hold it in as Simmer. Simmer over to DeCreasy. Pulls it off the boards. DeCreasy puts it high slot. Shot by Matthews that just goes wide. Griswold helps it along. Outside the near circle. Lindahl puts it in along the end boards. Matthews trying to get to it. And pulled away. Weber feeds it ahead as here comes Emil Eichel. And that pulled away. That is going to be an illegal body check. As Matthews goes into the box, Michigan penalty. That at 12:01. As that would be an illegal body check. So Michigan on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes, barring anything else happening. Face-off in the near face-off circle at the opponent's right. Michigan with the lead, 1-0. But Utah looking to take advantage of Michigan being shorthanded. As the clock running, they'll have to stop that clock. It was 12:01 before the penalty and then trying to get the penalty up there as they'll go over. You have a lot of volunteers working the scoreboard at these games, so they get the penalty up there and then they'll get the clock set back to 12:01. That's a complicated one. I don't know how to run that scoreboard. They got it figured out. They're doing a great job. Well done. And you appreciate everyone helping out, doing what they can. Shot, Bonif covering it up right off the faceoff. Utah gets that puck on the net. Rubin again in to take the faceoff. On the other side for Utah is Hansen. That puck drops, trying to pull it away, still loose in the near circle. Through the slot, that's sent and cleared all the way down the ice. Good job by, I believe that was Levinson who sent it all the way down. Picked up back behind by Hendry. Hendry add to Hansen. Hansen ricochets it off the far boards. Here comes Caps. Caps gains his own for Utah. Caps outside the far circle now, brings it in along the M boards. Into the far corner, Crookshank has it. Crookshank sends it back, top of the far circle. Hansen brings it in. Hansen with the shot, saved by Bonif. Shot from the far circle. Bonif, steady as ever, able to get on top of it. 1:22 left to go in the penalty kill situation for Michigan. 11:23 left to go in the first. Michigan up 1-0 as Shutt taking the face-off versus Malashevsky. Katie German brings it back behind her own goal. That's sent back at the near point, held in there by Bai. Bai has that tipped away back into the neutral zone as Utah will have to reset. Stevenson has it in her own zone. Back to Bai on the near circle. Bai goes back behind Griswold. Swanson providing pressure for Michigan. Malashevsky back at the blue line as well. Here comes Utah, bringing it ahead. Bailey sends it into Michigan zone, right back out by Katie German. Stevenson has it in her own end for Utah, brings it ahead. 47 seconds left to go in the power play for Utah. Forehand, feeds it all the way back into the Utah zone. Bai has it there, feeds it in along the far boards for Harris. Harris gains the Michigan zone and fires that deep into the near corner as it rims around. Forehand chasing it, and slips past the near point back into the neutral zone. Swanson trying to get it back. Here comes Malashevsky. Malashevsky gains his own. Malashevsky outside the far circle, back behind Griswold. 19 seconds left to go in the Michigan penalty kill. As that puck in along the near boards, brought out into the neutral zone. Here comes Kistner, Kistner puts it into the near corner. And pull back into the neutral zone. Hendry has it there. Hendry slips back to her own blue line. Michigan back to full strength. Matthews out of the box. Michigan up 1-0. 9:55 left to go here in the first. Levinson goes back behind Ponith and along the M boards to grab that puck. Levinson ricochets it off the near boards ahead to Simmer. Trying to pull it back, still loose now, back into the neutral zone. Hansen has it, knocked away by DeCreasy. DeCreasy races, gets back behind some of the defense. Centering attempt, and Simmer with the backhanded shot. Still loose, Griswold with the save. Oh boy, Simmer came in, backhanded shot. Simmer took the original shot. That the rebound was where DeCreasy scored, so trying to make a little bit of turnabout is fair play there. Gargiulo in to take the face off. As Eileen Eichel in on the other side. Gargiulo looking over. Levinson and Bryce are the defenders for Michigan. And it comes back and along the far boards. Bryce pops it back up outside the far circle. Trying to bring it back behind was Weber. Now that's sent in along the far boards. Backhanded, Gargiulo holds it in. Over to Levinson on the far circle. Levinson sends it back to Bryce at the far point. Now sent in along the M boards. Trying to pull that away. By the way, I believe that was actually Evans over there. And send into the neutral zone, grabbing it back. Here comes Michigan. Bryce feeds it ahead. Gargiulo at her own blue line. Gargiulo comes down the far boards, backhands it ahead. Eliasson trying to get to it. That knocked away. Loose at center ice. Bringing it in. Here comes Amel Eichel. Puck loose above the near circle. Coming in with it. Crookshank at it. And knocked away by Bryce in along the near boards. Held in by Beck. at the near point. Beck trying to send it deep. Stolen away by Gargiulo. Gargiulo over center ice. Gargiulo with a rocket blast as that was blocked by. Into the near corner it goes. Eileen Eichel has it there. Eileen Eichel firing it back into the neutral zone. Gathered up by Rubin. Rubin heads over along the near boards. Gains the zone. Rubin outside the near circle. And shot. Blocked out there by Bly. Now Lindahl has it underneath the far circle. Back to the far point. Held in by Kolwich. Kolwich over to Izzy German. Top of the near circle. That shot hit a pair of players out in front. I believe Rubin took that off of the side. All the way back into the Michigan zone. Michigan starts the rush. Knocked down. Coming in along the near side. Here comes Kistner. Kistner has that knocked away by Kolwich. Back behind the Michigan goal. And swung all the way back to the far point. Stevenson able to hold it in there. And puck top of the far circle over. Cap goes back behind the Michigan goal from the far side to the near side. That puck knocked away by Kolwich. Now trying to grab it back behind was Rubin. The puck loose outside the far circle, held in by Stevenson. That shot went right off of Evans. Evans trying to move it forward. Lindahl gets it back into the neutral zone, but that pulled down by Hansen. Hansen over along the near boards, brings it and fires it in deep for Utah. That puck slips right back behind the Michigan goal. Kolwich has it there. She's pinned against the board. It comes into the near corner where Lindahl has it. Lindahl trying to get it away from Caps. That puck out into the neutral zone. DeCreasy chasing it into the Utah end. And knocked away by Stevenson right back into the neutral zone where Matthews has it. Matthews moves along the far boards. And knocked back the other way by Christner. And then sent into the Michigan zone as Utah goes for a line change. Forehand ahead to DeCreasy. DeCreasy gains the Michigan zone. The grad student from Detroit leaves a drop pass over for Matthews. That knocked away. Good quick defense by Utah. Comes back to Katie German, top of the far circle. That puck in along the end boards. Matthews has it there. Beats it out in front. Loose. DeCreasy with a shot and a save by Griswold. My, oh my, oh my. Good opportunity there. Utah has come alive a bit in the last few minutes and got that puck deep into the Michigan zone and on net a few times. Griswold continues to come up big between the pipes to our right. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. 7:12 left to go here in the first period. Into the near corner it goes. Trying to pull it away is Weber. Weber underneath the far circle. Rims it around the glass. Held in at the far point. Michigan trying to pull it over was Katie German. Now moving over is Proctor. Proctor, top of the far circle. Proctor, backhanded shot. That got knocked down. Shot sends it back into the neutral zone. And puck loose right at the blue line. Shoveled back in by Proctor. Picked up and Weber feeds it all the way back to the Michigan blue line. Spinning with it, Katie German has it there. Katie German knocks it off the far boards. The puck loose, Swanson has it. Swanson feeds it out. That pulled right back in by Bailey for Utah. Bailey with a shot and a glove save by Proctor. 6:30 left to go here in the first period. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. Face-off is going to be in the far face-off circle. That to Proctor's, that to Pondit's left. Gargiulo in to take the face-off versus Hansen. Ceballos just to Gargiulo's right. That comes back to Bryce in the far corner. And poked by Ceballos all the way back out into the neutral zone. By has it at her own blue line. Knocked away, Gargiulo trying to get it. That sent right back out into the neutral zone in front of the Utah bench. Trying to pull it back in. Here comes Goldman. Goldman has that knocked away. Holding it in is Bryce. Putting it on the far circle. That in front and saved by Griswold. Good job by Bryce to hold it in at the far point. Sent it onto the far circle. Michigan able to get a shot away. As that came off, Griswold able to dive on that loose puck before any damage was done. 6:09 left to go here in the first. Michigan up 1-0. Evans has it outside the far circle. And puck pulled away by Hansen, swept into the near corner. Caps has it there. Caps outside the near circle. Rubin trying to pull it away. Here comes Lindahl in the near circle. Lindahl with a shot. Loose and Griswold with the save. 5:52 left to go here in the first. Face-off will be in the near face-off circle. That's the Griswold's left. Rubin in to take the face-off versus Hansen. Puck loose, trying to pull it away. Lindahl poking away at it as well. As that's sent by Christner back to the near point. Sent deep by Levinson. That puck loose outside the near circle. Rubin digging in the boards. Into the near corner it goes. Rubin trying to get it away from Bly. Right into the slot. And sent right back behind Griswold. Picked up there by Bly. The puck loose onto the near side of the goal. Now coming ahead. In along the near boards. Levinson trying to hold it in. And still at the near point now. Finally pulled out by Caps into the neutral zone in along the near boards. Lindahl digging, trying to pull it away from Hansen. Now coming away with it was Levinson back into her own zone. Bryce knocks it off the far boards. That puck loose right at center ice. And fired back deep by Bly as Utah goes for a line change. Levinson back behind her own goal. Fires it off the near boards ahead to Simmer. Simmer backhanded, trying to move it ahead. That knocked into the neutral zone. Here comes Matthews with it. Matthews over on the near side, over to Simmer. Simmer. That centering attempt got knocked down. Simmer trying to pull it away. Comes underneath the far circle. Directly back behind the net. Outside the far circle it goes. Kolwich trying to fire it out in front. And off the side of the net as Emil Eichel has it coming over her own blue line. Fired right back in by Izzy German. Collected by Stevenson. That goes into the near corner. Simmer chases it. Pulled back by Hendry. Hendry over to Emil Eichel. Emil Eichel trying to get it out of the zone. That loose on the blue line. Now poked back into the neutral zone. Izzy German puts it over on the far side to Kolwich, then gets it back in along the near boards over her own zone. Ahead to Proctor. That back puck knocked away. Coming ahead the other direction is Eileen Eichel. Eileen Eichel puts it onto the far circle of the Michigan zone. Sent ahead over to Swanson. Swanson sweeps it. That gets the blue line but not out. Fed right back into the near corner. Izzy German trying to pull it away from Bailey as they're in the near corner with it. That puck pulling back behind. Fired out to the blue line. Held in by Fish. Now knocked ahead. Here comes Proctor with it. Proctor gains the zone. Proctor on the near circle. Proctor hold off of that puck. Trying to get to it is Swanson. Whistle. And there is going to be a holding call. As Fish goes in for holding that on as a Utah penalty. That at 3:29, Michigan takes their first power play opportunity. Face-off will be to Griswold's left in the near face-off circle. Again, it's been a theme throughout all of these early games. The goaltenders have been fantastic. That puck loose on the near circle. Swanson pokes it up. Hansen into the near corner with it. Evans trying to pull that away now. Lindahl has it. Lindahl on the near circle. Back to the near point. Katie German with the shot. That deflected out in front. Trying to shove away that grab by Griswold. Swanson trying to poke away at it. Griswold able to dive on it. Stop that attempt by Michigan. 3:14 left to go here in the first. 1-0 Michigan with the lead. 1:45 left to go in the Michigan power play. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Lindahl with a shot. Good pad save by Griswold. That fired all the way down the ice. Michigan will have to reset. Katie German comes back to get it. Hansen back to provide pressure for Utah. Over along the near boards. Here comes Rubin quickly ahead. That banked off the boards. Sent outside the outside the far circle. Swanson with a shot saved by Griswold. 1:21 left to go in the Michigan power play. 2:50 left to go here in the first period. Michigan up 1-0. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That to Griswold's right. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. Cap moves it back to Crazy. Back to the far point. Levinson puts it outside the far circle. There's a shot out in front. Poked away by Griswold. Levinson retreats into the neutral zone. Michigan has to touch up to avoid a delayed offsides. That puck came off of DeCreasy stick Strange, but coming over, Simmer has it. Simmer back behind the net, coming underneath the far circle. Simmer with it there. Simmer firing it into the slot. That deflected off a defender's skate and all the way back into the neutral zone. 50 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Levinson feeds it down the far boards. Trying to backhand ahead is Gargiulo. And rocketed right back into the near corner. Chasing it along the near boards. Here comes Levinson. Levinson moves it over center ice. Sends it down on the far boards. Matthews has it on the far circle. Matthews goes back behind the goal from the far side to the near side. Matthews Outside the near circle to DeCreasy. Back over to Matthews, trying to center it up. That poked away. Excellent job by Hansen to pull that back to take an opportunity away. Hansen comes down on the Michigan zone, moves it over. Poneth with a great save, but good puck movement. Really challenged Poneth. That knockdown out in front and along the near boards. Pulled ahead with it. And back into the neutral zone, stolen away by Bly. Now that moved in along the near boards. Gargiulo chasing it. And pulled up and fired right back into the Michigan zone. As Utah back to full strength, Katie German picks it up underneath the near circle of her own zone, trying to avoid pressure by two Utah players. Proctor over to help out. Now that puck gathered in by Crookshank. Top of the near circle. That shot by Beck and a glove save by Poneth. Both of these teams have a stated goal to try and get to the ACHA Nationals. Michigan made it, won the first round of the WCCHA playoffs last year. Beck has it, top of the near circle, that knocked away back into the neutral zone. So a big win here would help out both of these squads into the far corner. Izzy German fires it over to Swanson. That comes out into the neutral zone. Proctor picks it up right at center ice. Proctor gains his own. Proctor with a shot that goes wide to the far side. All the way back to the far point. Katie German holds it in, gets it over to Malashevsky. Malashevsky puts it back behind the goal in along the end lines. And moved over on the near side to Hendry. 34 seconds left to go in the first. Forehand back in along in the neutral zone, pokes it away. Caps has it right at center ice. Caps gets it to Crookshank. Crookshank dumps it into the Michigan zone on the far circle as Utah goes for a line change. 19 seconds left to go. Here comes Ceballos. Ceballos gains his own. Ceballos with a shot that goes wide to the far side. Goldman trying to pick it up. That held in at the far point by Eliason. Stuck in a pair of skates, trying to dig it out of the far boards. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Holding it in was Goldman, but that will do it for the first period. So at the end of one, Michigan 1 and Utah nothing. Well, let's talk about the next upcoming 5 games for Michigan, and then we will take a break, but see if I can pull that up. As the next game will be a home game on October 21st as Indiana Tech comes into town. They played Michigan and knocked them out in the semifinal round of the CCWHA playoffs. That will be 8 o'clock here at Yost Ice Arena. So Indiana Tech coming. That's going to be a home and home as Michigan goes to Fort Wayne on October 22nd. That will be Saturday. That will be a 3:30 game over at Indiana Tech. Then Michigan hosts Lake Superior State for a pair of games on November 5th. Lake Superior State comes into town at Yost Ice Arena 4:30 on Saturday. And then, whoops, I flipped those. Should be Saturday and Sunday. Excuse me, I still got Friday up there. I swear I double-checked these. So November 6th, that's going to be a Sunday, Lake Superior State at 3:30 here at Yost Ice Arena. Then November 18th, Michigan goes on the road. That's a Friday. They will take on Montana State at 7 p.m. I'm doing my best to try and find my way out there, and we'll see what happens. But that's going to be a trio of games at the Salt Lake Sports Complex. So they'll play on Friday, November 18th, a 5 p.m. Mountain Time, so 7 p.m. Eastern Time game versus Montana State. Then on Saturday, November 19th, they will play this University of Utah team at home, again, 4:30 Mountain Standard Time, so that should be 6:30 Eastern. And then on Sunday, November 20th, Michigan plays University of Amherst, Massachusetts. That again at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. That will be 10:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, so it should be 12:30 p.m. Central or Eastern Time, if I can do my math right. So just a little bit of what's coming up. We will pull that off of here and then let us play a little bit of the Michigan Marching Band. Here is the, let's pull this over. Here is the Victors. If you do want to reach the broadcast, fire off a message at arborbroadcasting at gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. Taking a look at the ACHA scoreboard, taking a look back on Sunday, other games that happened Sunday. Colorado State University won versus Grand Valley State University 3-2. It was University of Jamestown beating Marysville University 3-4. Or 4-3, excuse me. It was, and again, we know that University of Michigan game versus Lake Superior State, 2-0 Michigan with the win. No action on Monday, Tuesday. One game on Wednesday. That was Arizona State University doubling up Grand Canyon University 4-2. We'll see them much later, just on after the first of the year. And then other games happening today. Adrian College is hosting Midland University with 7:30 left to go in the second. It is 1-0 Midland University over Adrian. Midland 5-0. Adrian 2-0 on the season as we are counting down 3 minutes 55 seconds left to go. Thank you to everyone watching and cheering on these teams, be it out in Utah or locally. Thank you very much for your support of these wonderful, amazing athletes. As we will play just a little bit more, as we will have our Michigan scoreboard report at the second intermission and look at all things University of Michigan that have happened in the past week since our last game on Sunday. The officials hitting the nets put back on their mooring. 1-0 Michigan with the lead here going into the second. Both teams have had some fantastic opportunities, both netminders. Both Poneth and Griswold have come up huge. Michigan coach is back on the bench. The official finally gets that net to their left on the mooring. Michigan gathered and they head out onto the ice. Michigan in their home whites as they come out to skate around. As Utah should be out shortly. I believe they're coming from the locker room to our right. As we're getting ready to kick off the second, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left to go. And actually, no, Utah comes out from the left as well. Both locker rooms are over to the left. They have a series of different locker rooms. Of course, Michigan does not have a set locker room, so they do have to take their gear out and bring it back every game and practice here at Yost Ice Arena. As Poneth goes to skate down towards our right. Michigan going from right to left here in the second period. As Utah gathered around their coaching staff getting last moment instructions. Michigan, the starters out on the ice, or the starters for the second period. Forehand, DeCreasy, Simmer, Katie German, and Matthews out there for Michigan. Matthews in to take the face off Griswold. Skates towards the left as put up 20 minutes up on the clock, and we'll get back going here for the second. Hansen again taking the face off. As there we go. As the clock getting set, and they'll put that back to 20. I think everyone skated out and went to drop the puck and get going, and the clock operator went, oh my gosh. Matthews in to take the face-off versus Hansen. That comes back to the blue line. Stevenson moves it over. Now Hendry sends it deep into the Michigan zone. That will be icing, though, and head back into the Utah end. It's on the other side of center ice. And we'll come back into the near face-off circle. That to Griswold's right. Matthews in versus Hansen again to take the face-off. As that puck in along the near board, sent back to Katie German. Top of the near circle, over through. And knocked back into the near corner. Good save by Griswold. Caps picks it up outside the far circle. Caps in the far corner. Matthews trying to pull that away as well as Simmer. Stevenson has that right out in front. Knocked away into the far corner by Kistner. Back to the far point. DeCreasy trying to hold it in. That slips into the neutral zone. Katie German has it at center ice. Katie German feeds it into the near corner. Picked up back in along the M boards. Trying to pull it away is DeCreasy. And it swings all the way outside the far circle. Proctor picks it up there. Proctor switches directions outside the far circle. Shot! That goes right through the crease outside the near circle. Picked up as bringing it in. Kistner ends up colliding with the linesman and going down. That puck brought right back in by Swanson. Swanson has that sticked away into the near corner by Griswold. Pulling it up, Proctor out in front. That tipped back to the blue line. Fired back by Levinson. Levinson firing it again into the slot. There's a shot by Malashevsky. Blocker saved by Griswold. Malashevsky picks it up back behind the goal. Underneath the far circle, Malashevsky feeds it. That loose, trying to get to it was Levinson. Shot that goes wide into the near corner. Swanson trying to pick it up. That puck comes back. Goldman chasing it. Now Malashevsky outside the far circle. Malashevsky, that comes all the way in along the near boards as Hendry gets it back into the neutral zone. Michigan fires it right back in. Hendry has it outside the near circle of her own zone. Swanson trying to hold it in at the near point. Now Gargiulo trying to fire it deep. Shut. Pulls it, fires it to her own blue line. Coming down the far boards, Crookshank has it. Crookshank avoids some pressure, feeds it ahead to Bailey into the Michigan zone, and that goes into the near corner. Shutt picks it up back behind the Michigan goal. Bryce trying to knock it away from her. Shutt on the far circle, that bouncing puck into the far corner. Bailey trying to fire it out. Bonnet with a good bad save. And into the near corner of the Michigan zone. Swanson rims it all the way around, trying to get it over on the far side is Goldman. And it's sent back onto the near boards. Michigan brings it out into the neutral zone. Swanson sends it right to center ice. Fish trying to poke that away. And brought back. Coming ahead with it is Shot. Gains the Michigan zone. Shot. Bonnet covers it up with a save. 17:07. 17:04. Took him a second to stop the clock, but that's okay. Face off in the near face-off circle. That DePonet's left. 1-0. Michigan with the lead. As that puck into the near corner. As that comes bouncing on the far circle. Eileen Eichel trying to get to it. That pulled away. Here comes Rubin. Rubin outside the far circle. Rubin sends it right through the crease. Picked up by Kolwich outside the near circle. Her shot got knocked away by Eileen Eichel. Pulling it back, here comes Izzy German. Izzy German brings it down, gains his own. Izzy German outside the far circle, sweeps that in along the M boards. Into the near corner it goes. Now outside the near circle. Lindahl trying to get to it. Evans chases it back behind the Utah goal. Evans feeds it back to the far point to Izzy German. Izzy German trying to feed it right through. Pad save, backhanded shot out in front, and I think it went in. Did it go in? No. They're saying it didn't fully cross the goal line. It has to go all the way over the goal line. As that comes back on top of the near circle. DeCreasy trying to get to it. DeCreasy firing it out in front. Lindahl's shot just goes wide. Lindahl moves it right back behind. Matthews trying to tip it. That comes outside the near circle. Kolwich with it there. There is a loose glove on the ice. It's providing a little bit of extra distraction. Coming ahead with it, Emil Eichel. Right through center ice. Gets it over to Harris. That pulled away by DeCreasy. DeCreasy comes up the boards. DeCreasy feeds it to Kolwich. Top of the near circle. Shot covered up by Griswold. Oh, that puck bouncing down in a long. That will be something that we'll pull up the video and take a big replay of, as that seemed to linger right on the goal line, and Michigan just not able to poke it through. The official right there. Malashevsky in to take the face off. Hansen again on the other side. And puck in along the near boards. Katie German puts it back deep. Gathering it in there is Hendry. Hendry goes right back behind her own goal. It comes to the near point. Katie German puts it outside the near circle. Swanson fires it behind. Proctor picks it up outside the far circle. Proctor gets it over. Forehand with the shot from the far point. That comes outside the near circle. Malashevsky trying to get to it. That pulled back, fired into the neutral zone by Utah. Forehand has it. Forehand fires it right back in. Stevenson trying to chase it. That grab by Hendry right back behind her own goal. Hendry underneath the near circle of the Utah zone. Hendry knocks it the other direction. Caps trying to get to it. That held in as Proctor feeds it over to Swanson on the far circle. Swanson with a shot and a save by Griswold. 14:45 left to go here in the second. 1-0 Michigan with the lead here in the second. Face-off will be in the far face-off circle. That to Griswold's left. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. Shut on the other side for Utah. Fish trying to dig it off of the far board. Now Shutt brings it back behind it along the end boards. Chasing it. Here, out in front. Goldman has it. Wouldn't settle down for Eliason. And she tried to take a whack at it and wouldn't come off the stick. And back into the neutral zone. Bryce chases it back into her own zone outside the near circle. Bryce trying to fire it the other direction. And gathered in. Crookshank with a shot. That goes wide to the near side. Gathered in by Shutt. Shutt sends it right back in along the end boards. Levinson into the far corner. Gargiulo trying to pull it out. That grab by Fish, held him back into the far corner. Now Levinson chasing it. That poked right back behind by Crookshank into the near corner. That ahead. Weber trying to hold it in. That deflected. Gargiulo chasing it, but Fish sends it back onto the near circle. Now that lifted all the way back into the neutral zone. Weber has it. Ricochets it off the near boards. Bringing it in is Bailey. Bailey feeds it into the near corner. Shot as that pulled away by Levinson. Here comes Eliason outside the far circle. That went off of Levinson. Skates loose there. Shot knocked down as Kistner had it. That shot got deflected. Now Rubin fires it ahead. That picked up by Levinson, who fires it deep as Michigan goes for a line change. And puck. Kistner has it into the near corner. Kistner bounces it off the near boards. Izzy German sends it back in along the end boards. And loose on the near circle, trying to get it is Evans in the slot. Kolwich has it top of the far circle. Kolwich sends it into the far corner. Caps trying to pull that away. Now here comes Hansen over on blue line. Hansen over center ice. Hansen with the 2-on-1 over shot and a save by Poneth as Kistner took a shot from the slot. Poneth able to make the save ahead to Lindahl. Lindahl gains his own. Lindahl in the slot with a shot. That deflected by Bly into the far corner. Outside the far circle. Picked up. Hansen had it. Now here comes Evans top of the near circle. And fired away by Beck into the neutral zone. Michigan trying to pick it up and along the near boards. Matthews trying to grab it. Here comes Kistner. Kistner with the shot. That blocked and it goes in. Kistner with the goal. As it was a good job by Poneth to get it, but it just had enough momentum as she got it with the blocker and popped up over. That at 12-19. 1-1 is our score here in the second. 12-19 left to go. Malashevsky comes back. Katie German brings it along the near boards. Katie German trying to fire it in. Rims all the way around the boards outside the far circle. Trying to fire it out in front. That goes right through the crease. Katie German has it at the near point. Katie German brings it ahead. Utah looks a bit invigorated with a little bit more speed. That comes back into the near corner, trying to pull it away. Proctor ends up down on the ice. Michigan trying to pull it out of the near boards. Swanson, Malashevsky has it. That popped up top of the near circle. Katie German with the shot. That comes over on the far side, fired by Stevenson, picked up by Swanson outside the far circle. Swanson comes back over, trying to avoid pressure by Torrey. Trying to pull in his Nielsen to try and get that away. That comes outside the near circle. Hendry puts it ahead. That bounces into the neutral zone, gathered in by Katie German. She backhands it over on the far boards to Forehand. Forehand gets it ahead. Here comes Eliason, top of the far circle. Eliason with a shot and a save. Glove save by Griswold. 1-1 is our score. 11-10 left to go. Michigan has a 2-game winning streak. They want to keep that rolling. Utah has 1 win, 1 loss in the last 2 games. They would love to add to that win total. Shut in to take the faceoff versus guard Julo. Goldman has it in the far corner. Goldman, that goes right through the crease. Michigan not able to get a stick on it. Back to the near point to Levinson. Levinson sends it. That pulled ahead with it as Shuck gets it back into the neutral zone. Poked away by guard Julo, now sent down the ice. Bringing ahead is Crookshank. Crookshank outside the near circle. That knocked away by Levinson. Crookshank has it back. That goes right through the crease. Trying to get it over. Covered up by Poneth. 11:10 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score. Face off in the far face off circle. That to the right of Poneth. Shut in to take the face off. Rubin on the other side for Michigan. That puck comes back to the far point as Pimentel holding it in. Now shut into the far corner. Trying to put it out in front. Save by Poneth. Still loose. Poneth able to cover it up. Utah with some extended pressure in the Michigan zone. They'll have another face-off to Poneth's right. As that Rubin and back out to the far point. Pimentel puts it into the near corner now. That pulled back by Rubin. Rubin underneath the near circle. Here comes Evans with it. Evans backhands it. Not out of the zone. Izzy German trying to get it as that sent right back deep and along the end boards. Gathered in by Evans. Evans ahead. And banks off of the near boards in a foot race into the neutral zone. That pulled back by Kistner. Now sent all the way back to the Michigan blue line. Izzy German has it there. Izzy German brings it ahead. Izzy German fires it. And saved by Griswold into the far corner. Michigan goes for a line change. Beck has it on the far circle. Held in by Izzy German. She's trying to put it back deep. Izzy German again holding it in. Now Utah able to get it out. Kistner, who has the goal for Utah, comes in on the far circle. Backhanded shot. Poneth with the save into the near corner. That puck back to the near point. Hansen, shot from the high slot, deflected out in front. That comes out onto the near circle. Good pad save again by Poneth. Racing ahead. Here comes DeCreasy, who has the Michigan goal. DeCreasy with the shot. Kick save there. Loose, trying to pull that loose on the near circle. Now pulled back ahead by Kistner. Kistner fires it deep. That ricochets off the end boards into the far corner where Forehand will pick it up. 9:17 left to go here in the second. DeCreasy brings it into the Utah zone. DeCreasy chasing it and pulled back behind into the near corner. Eileen Eichel has it. Held in by Katie German. Katie German puts it deep. Simmer trying to get to it. That knocked back into the near corner. Harris outside the near circle trying to help it along. Michigan has it pinned. Now Simmer trying to backhand it out in front. Matthews with the centering pass. That covered up by Griswold. 8:46 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score. Face-off will be to Griswold's right in the near face-off circle. Malashevsky in to take the face-off. As that pull back. Coming ahead with it is Harris. Harris moves it over the center line. Harris. And knocked into the far corner. Trying to pull it away is Katie German. Katie German rims it around the board. Swanson outside the far circle. That collected top of the near circle. Trying to get to it, Harris. That moved over. Swanson has it at center ice. Sent right back in by Eileen Eichel. Now Katie German puts it down the far boards. Here comes Michigan over center ice. Malashevsky gains his own. That puck wouldn't settle down. That brought back, Goldman. Goldman trying to grab it top of the near circle. Katie German. And all the way back into the Michigan zone. That should be icing, and it will be. That will head back into the Utah zone, although they are allowing them to do a line change. Face-off in the near face-off circle. 9:59 left to go here in the second. 1-1 is our score. Eileen Eichel in to take the face-off versus guard Julo in the near face-off circle. That puck back over. Levinson with it. Levinson feeds it down outside the near circle. It goes into the near corner, trying to pull it away there, slips right back behind the Michigan, or back behind Griswold, as Gargiulo with a shot and Griswold with the save. Oh, Eliason grabbed it off the end boards, fired it right out in front. Gargiulo with a shot, but Griswold with a fantastic save. Face-off in the far face-off circle. That comes to the blue line. Levinson trying to put it deep. That goes right back behind Griswold. As Cevallos trying to get it out in front. That puck loose. Back to the near point. Backhanded by Gargiulo outside the near circle. Weber has it there. Weber trying to get it back over to Crookshanks. That brought out. Now Schuck comes down the near board. Schuck gains the zone. Schuck puts it into the near corner. Bryce chasing it. Back into the far corner. Schuck has it now back to the far point. That pulled by Weber back in along the end boards into the near corner. Bailey with it. Bailey trying to fire a bouncing puck out in front. That comes loose. Fish has it in the high slot. That shot was blocked. Racing ahead with it, trying to get to it is Cevallos, who blocked the shot. Now that's brought in. Here comes Michigan. Eliason with a shot that got off of a skate out in front outside the near circle. Eliason again trying to fire it out in front. Izzy German has it in the high slot. She goes into the near point. Fired right back. Evans back behind the goal. Evans. That one off of a defender's skate. Evans trying to get it into the slot. Evans through the crease. Into the near corner. Lindahl has it. Lindahl on the near circle. Lindahl with a shot that went off of Weber's skate. Kolwich has it in along the far boards of the neutral zone. Kolwich over to Evans. Evans brings it in. Evans shot from the top of the near circle. Coming in with it. Lindahl. That knocked away by Weber into the far corner. Shot trying to pull it away. That's swept out. Kolwich, top of the far circle. Kolwich with the wrister, and she scores! Kolwich from the top of the far circle, and Michigan takes the lead again. I think Griswold might have been screened. I'm not sure she even saw that one coming. As we will get exactly who got that, but I believe it was Kolwich with the shot. I don't believe anyone tipped that. That at 6:07. Michigan up 2-0 here in the second. Matthews in to take the face-off versus Hansen. That puck right at the near point in the Michigan zone to Creasy trying to fire it ahead. As Stevenson sires it right back. Now Hansen, that tipped, grabbed by Kolwich. Coming over to Creasy, knocked away. Kolwich comes in along the near boards. That fired all the way back into the neutral zone. By has it there. By backhands it to get to Hansen. Hansen puts it outside the far circle. Matthews trying to knock it away from Hansen. Now Simmer comes over. That fired over to Kistner. Kistner with the Utah goal. DeCreasy trying to pull it away into the neutral zone. Here comes DeCreasy. Top of the near circle. Moves it into the slot. Shot. Oh, getting a piece of it. That was driven wide, but a beautiful job trying to get it over to Simmer. Now over to Matthews. Shot by DeCreasy. That block. Loose and diving save by Griswold. Michigan looking for those rebounds as the defense comes over and pats Griswold on the back. They know she's playing very hard. Getting some very, very good saves. It was Michigan getting some pressure now. 5:16 left to go here in the second. 2-1, Michigan with the lead. Malashevsky in to take the faceoff versus Schutt in the near faceoff circle. That comes outside the near circle. Swanson fires it, and it goes right back behind Griswold underneath the far circle, trying to fire it out in front to Proctor. That loose. Swanson trying to get to it. That back into the neutral zone. Here comes Katie German with it. Katie German has it deflect off of escape. Michigan has to step back up in the neutral zone. Forehand, moving it ahead. That tipped right back out as that was By who sent it out, and that came back deep into the Michigan zone. Katie German puts it in along the near boards. Bailey trying to fire it out. Shot with the shot. Saved by Ponith. Oh, Ponith with the body save. And popped out a foot in front of her. She was able to dive over and cover up that puck. 4:41 left to go here in the second. 2-1 Michigan with the lead. Utah was able to tie it up here in the second to 1-1. Michigan took the lead again. Add in along the far boards. Eliason trying to get it out of the zone. That all the way back. Racing to get it into the far corner it goes. Michigan trying to pull it away. Now back into the near corner, back to the near point. Levinson trying to hold it in. That sneaks out. Levinson back to her own blue line. Levinson trying to backhand it ahead to Eliason. Eliason brings it down in front of her own bench. Puts it in along the end boards, right back behind Griswold. Hendry with it there, trying to poke it away. Michigan underneath the near circle. That back over to Gargiulo. Gargiulo underneath the far circle. Gargiulo pokes it back to the far point, grabbing it. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl goes down. And puck brought underneath the circle all the way back to the near point. Bryce holds it in. Outside the near circle it goes as Goldman trying to get it. Shot by Lindahl. That was blocked out in front by a defender. Swept into the near corner. Michigan back to the near point to Bryce. Bryce moves it over. Top of the far circle for Levinson. That Lindahl trying to deflect it out in front, but grabbed by Griswold. 2-1. Michigan with the lead. 3:32 left to go here in the second. Live at Yost Ice Arena, looking down on Red Berenson Rink as they have the wonderful 100 years of hockey. Michigan hockey established in 1922. Beautiful logo on the ice. And brought back, trying to get it into the far corner. Rubin has it there. Rubin has it poked away, but Evans puts it into the slot, pulled away by Kistner. Back into the neutral zone. Izzy German trying to sweep it into the zone, but that held out. Trying to pull it away. Here comes Evans. That knocked away from Evans. Caps has it. Caps trying to backhand it out. Now that grab. Holding it in is Evans. Top of the near circle with this shot. That got deflected by Weber out in front. Weber moves it along the far boards. Izzy German pins it there, trying to shove it back deep. Hansen pulling it back. Now that grab. Michigan backhands it. And then pulled back away by Hansen in along the near boards. Here comes Hansen through the neutral zone. Hansen fires it deep into the Michigan zone. And covered up by Poneth as that took a ricochet off the end boards and came right back to the near side of the Michigan goal. Poneth wanting to take absolutely no chances with it. 2:43 left to go. Face off in the near face-off circle. It's a bit of a Michigan run for Utah here. We'll talk about their upcoming schedules. They'll have a couple more Michigan games as long as they made the trip all the way out here. And fired back, picked up. Here comes Simmer. Simmer on the near circle. Simmer into the slot for DeCreasy. Add into the near corner. Pull back to the near point. Katie German, that got knocked off of Crookshanks. Trying to feed it ahead. Katie German gets it back in along the near boards. Katie German puts it in along the end boards. That slips right back behind Griswold. Matthews chases it there. Now Simmer in a battle outside the far circle with Bailey. Matthews comes over to try and pull it away. Poked away. Bailey trying to knock it out. Brought right back to the far point. Forehand with the shot. Utah has been deflecting a lot of shots, getting bodies in front of the goal. That brought ahead. Here comes Shutt. Brings it over the near circle into the near corner in the Michigan zone. Katie German pulls it on the far circle of her own zone. Katie German over her own blue line. Katie German over center ice. Katie German brings it into the zone. She tries to fire it back deep as Michigan goes for a line change. That fired all the way back. Trickling puck. As that will die right before the goal line. So no icing because it missed momentum by about an inch. That fired over to the near side. Saved by Poneth, comes out of the near circle. Michigan trying to get it out of the zone. That back into the neutral zone, right in front of the scorer's bench. Collected there by Stevenson. Fires it ahead to Kistner. Kistner on the near circle. Kistner with the shot that goes through the crease. Hansen outside the far circle. Drops it back to the far point. One-timer there. Off the post. Still loose. Now pulling it away. Here comes Michigan. Over their own blue line. Coming ahead with it is Proctor. Proctor. That got caught in the linesman's skate. Probably preferable to getting wiped out as I believe Kistner ended up hitting the lineman on the other side and had to get back up. And pulled back and along the far boards of the Michigan zone. Malashevsky picks it up there. 32 seconds left to go here in the second. 2-1 Michigan with the lead. And puck back into the neutral zone. Shutt puts it back into her own zone. That fired ahead by Hendry. 20 seconds left to go. That puck pulled in. Bailey chases it into the far corner underneath the far circle. And put back. Crookshanks has it. Crookshanks back, top of the far circle. That knocked away Weber's shot outside the near circle. Bailey puts it onto the near circle. Loose now chasing it back behind. Crookshanks has it, trying to put it out in front. That is the end of the second period. As a high-flying second period. Lots and lots of action as it was a Utah goal. That one was by Christner at 12-19. Before that, Michigan had a flurry of goals that just sat on that goal line. Wouldn't go over. And then Michigan had a goal, I believe that was Kolwich with a rocket shot from the far circle that found its way back unless someone tipped it. So we are at the second intermission again. Let's play the victors, then we'll come back and we will have your Michigan scoreboard report for the week. Then we'll come in and we'll play I Can't Turn You Loose a little bit later. Here's the victors. Is 2-1 at the second intermission between these two excellent teams. Both goalkeepers are playing out of their minds, stopping any number of shots out there. We do want to thank Holly Bailey for the extremely kind message. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate that. If anyone wants to reach out, it's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. That's arborbroadcasting@gmail.com. Let's take a look at your Michigan scoreboard report as women's soccer played back on Sunday when we last had a Michigan game. Michigan State won that game up at East Lansing 2-0. On Monday, October 10th, the Georgetown Intercollegiate Men's Golf Tournament happened. Michigan fourth after day one. On Tuesday, October 11th, again, men's golf at the Georgetown Intercollegiate Tournament. They were fifth out of 12 on Tuesday. Men's soccer visited number 15, Ohio State. Ohio State with the win, 3-1 over Michigan. On Thursday, October 13th, women's soccer played hosting number 5, Northwestern. Northwestern won that one 3-0. In softball exhibition game versus Detroit Mercy, Michigan winning that one 6-3. Lots of action happening tomorrow as men's tennis is at the San Diego Invitational. Women's cross country is at the Natty Combe Wisconsin Invitational. Women's tennis is at the Buckeye Invitational. Men's cross country is at the Natty Combs Wisconsin Invitational. Field hockey is hosting Indiana. That 4:30 if you want to go over and check out some wonderful field hockey action. Men's soccer will be hosting Bradley at 7 p.m. over at the soccer stadium. Ice hockey, number 9, Boston University is in to play the NCAA men's squad here at Yost Ice Arena. That a 7 p.m. game. And then volleyball is at East Lansing, a 7:30 game. That will be on Big Ten Plus. So that is your Michigan intermission scoreboard report. Well, we talked about the upcoming games for Michigan. How about for this Utah squad, as they are playing Michigan here at Yost, obviously. Then they move over to the west side of the state tomorrow, Friday, October 14th. They will be playing at Davenport University, that over at Patterson Ice Arena. Then on that is, by the way, a 8:30 game, I believe. Trying to catch that. Some of the times cut off on the far side there. Then on Saturday the 15th, they will be going over and playing Aquinas College. That looks like that's going to be like a 7:30 game. Again, those times cut off. Then on Friday, October 21st and Saturday, October 22nd, University of Utah will host Grand Canyon University for a pair of games Friday and Saturday at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. Then they will host the University of Wyoming for a pair of games on Friday, October 28th, and Saturday, October 29th over at the Salt Lake City Sports Complex. The game on Friday, October 28th, looks like it's going to be 4:30. On Saturday, October 29th, it's going to be 7:30. Don't quote me on that. Please check the either the ACHA website or Utah has a wonderful Utah hockey website with a fantastic schedule there. So check that out. Well, it is the second intermission. It is time for I Can't Turn You Loose.
Well, good afternoon and welcome once again to the Michigan Amphitheater. You know, so much of the music we hear today is this pre-programmed electronic disco. You never get a chance to hear master bluesmen practicing their craft. By the year 2006, the music now known as the blues will exist only in the classical record department of your local public library. And so, this afternoon, while we still can, let us welcome from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Gary Lewis and his blues band.
As we are on a hotspot puck, and for some reason it decided that it didn't want to work for a moment there. We still haven't gotten our full bandwidth up yet, but we'll keep our fingers crossed, and hopefully that will work. As we have pucks from about hotspots from many different cellular companies, and you get what you get inside of ice rinks. So 20 minutes up on the clock as we're getting ready for the third period. Again, if you do experience any issues, give us a moment, just refresh, and we will try and get it back up again. We're hoping it's going to be kind. Both teams out onto the ice. Michigan going from right to left, or left to right, excuse me, here in this third period. As they have the nets back on their moorings, getting the door closed back behind the net to our left. Ponith gets set up in the crease to our left. As Griswold skates over to our right. Again, both keepers have been absolutely fantastic. Both goaltenders, you can tell I switched between soccer and about 11 other sports, so please forgive me. Yes, I occasionally call the basketball puck. Bringing it ahead is Swanson. Swanson brings it down on the far side, trying to tip it away. That back into the neutral zone, gathered in down the near side. Here comes forehand. Forehand gets it into the Utah zone. That pulled away by Stevenson. Stevenson ricochets it off of the far boards, trying to fire it ahead. And grabbed by Proctor, loose. Trying to bring it ahead. That knocked down on the far side by Hendry. Picked up. Moved over on the near side by Caps. Caps fires it back to the Michigan blue line. Forehand has it tipped away. That grabbed Kistner. Knocks it back deep into the Michigan zone. That picked up forehand. Swings it away and along the far boards. Here comes Swanson. Swanson makes a move. Fires it into the Utah zone. That slips back behind. Griswold gathered up there. Bringing it ahead. Fish fires it. And intercepted right at the Michigan blue line. Goldman trying to knock it ahead. And it slips back into the slot, going over to grab it. And Weber feeds it over. Now Goldman has it on the far circle. That picked up. Bringing it the other direction. Here comes Bailey. Bailey trying to make a move. Has that tipped away. That puck in along the near boards. Chasing it. Pulled back in by Gargiulo. Gargiulo on the near circle. Gargiulo goes back. Now instead going back behind her own net. Comes up the near side. Gargiulo feeds it into the neutral zone. Fish intercepts it. Moves it over on the far side to Bai. Gargiulo grabs it right in front of her own bench. Now coming over. Here comes Eliason. Eliason pulls it into the zone. Knocked away by Bailey, who fires it right back into the neutral zone. Coming in is Evans. Evans fires it. That goes right back behind Griswold and kind of stops on a spot on the ice there. Didn't see any particular spot that didn't get cleaned with the Zamboni, but every once in a while, here comes Lindahl. Lindahl with a shot that goes wide. That deflected out in front. Back to Izzy German at the far point. Trying to pull it away is Shutt. Shutt fires it all the way down the ice. And that will be icing. 17:50 left to go here in this, the third period. 2-1, Michigan with the lead, but Utah has continued to play very tough. Gotten the puck down on the Michigan zone. Michigan had a 1-0 lead at the end of the first. Utah scored to tie it up in the second. Michigan took the lead again on a Kolwich shot later in the second, and that's where we're at here. 17:50 left to go in the third. Shot in to take the faceoff versus Matthews. As Izzy German had it again, that poked away, weird off the stick, pulled in along the near boards, that pulled in. Here comes Crookshank. Crookshank has it poked away into the near corner. And pulled back over. Kolwich has it deflected right over. Ponith covers it up. Kolwich had it. I think that went off a Cap's skate and went right back towards the Michigan goal. Thankfully, Utah was going, I believe, for a line change and didn't see it poking out there. Face off in the far face-off circle. Hansen in to take the face-off versus Malashevsky. Katie German has it back behind, puts it in along the near boards. Proctor trying to make a move, avoiding pressure by Utah. Malashevsky has that pulled away, coming in. Christner moves it over to Caps. Now Michigan sends it back into the Utah zone. Chasing it, Beck has it on the far circle. Beck moves it out and along the far boards. That gathered in. Here comes Hansen. Hansen has that tipped away by Proctor. Proctor moves it out to the Michigan blue line in a foot race, trying to get it away from Beck. Here comes Malashevsky, avoiding some traffic. Malashevsky over to Swanson with a shot that covered up. Griswold with a great save. Good puck movement. Griswold able to see it through some traffic and cover it up. That stays 2-1 Michigan with the lead, 16:56 left to go. We're excited to get to come out to Utah. Hopefully I'll be able to find a way through my day job and come out and broadcast those games a little bit later as that puck slips into the near corner. Gathered in, Stevenson picks it up, goes over on blue line. Stevenson over center ice. And gathered over to Harris with a shot. And covered up by Poneth. 16:35 left to go here in the third. Faceoff will be in the far faceoff circle to Poneth's left. Looks like Gargiulo in to take the faceoff. And coming over, Eileen Eichel taking that faceoff for Utah. That comes over. Here comes Eliasson chasing it into the Utah zone. Eliasson into the near corner. Eliasson trying to fire it out in front. Stevenson knocks it down into the far corner. Hendry back over, that puck loose, coming ahead with it. Eileen Eichel has it. Eileen Eichel moves it back in along the end boards. Picked up there by Hendry. Hendry has it poked away by Goldman. Gathered in on the far circle. Here comes Michigan as they move it back. Gargiulo has it on the far point. That moved back in along the end boards. Goldman has it into the near corner of the Utah zone. Rims it all the way back the other way. Kolwich, who had the go-ahead goal on the far circle. That pulled down, coming the other direction. Here comes Emil Eichel. And knocked off of the linesman, now pulled into the far corner. Crookshanks has it. That knocked away. Michigan. Rubin, the captain, sends it back to the far point. Held in by Fish. Fish. And pulled down. Here comes Michigan over the center line. Michigan gains his own shot. And deflected. Weber knocked it away, and that all the way back into the neutral zone. 15:21 left to go. Here in the third, Michigan up 2-1. Katie German brings it ahead. Lifted but held in. Pulling it down. Bailey able to hold it in, but Michigan firing it ahead. Here comes Lindahl. Lindahl outside the near circle. Lindahl into the near corner. She goes back behind Griswold out onto the far circle. That shot deflected off of a defender. Matthews. That went off of Fish's skate. Now Lindahl puts it into the far corner. Fish puts it out to the far point, and Katie German unable to hold it in. Katie German chases it back to her own blue line. Katie German over along the near boards, deflects it ahead. Rocketed back in by Matthews in along the end boards. Picked up there by Bly. Bly underneath the near circle. Bly brings it ahead. Knocked back by Matthews in along the far boards. Gathered in by Weber. Weber and Simmer pinned against the boards, trying to get it. Matthews comes in to try and pull that away. Same thing with Kistner. Back behind Griswold. Matthews throws it out in front. That grab by back out into the neutral zone. Katie German has it. Moves it back over. Here comes Matthews. Matthews has it on the far circle. That through the crease and grab by Griswold. Great job by Griswold to grab that by just on the far side. That way any rebound that came off, she was right there to handle it. 14:02 left to go here in the third. High atop of Yost Ice Arena, face-off in the far face-off circle. Malashevsky in there versus Hansen. That puck back top of the far circle. As that puck back into the neutral zone as players got tangled up. Levinson picks it up on the near circle, trying to get it back. That held in by shot. Save by Poneth. 13:46 left to go here in the third. 2-1, Michigan with the lead. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Hansen comes in versus Malashevsky. Puck still loose on that near circle. Caps trying to get it over. Now here comes Proctor. Fired right back in. Grabbed. Malashevsky gets it over to Swanson. Swanson moves it down the neutral zone, as I believe that touched one of the Michigan players on the bench. It will be a face-off in the far face-off circle just outside the Michigan zone. 13:31 left to go here in the third period. As Gargiulo in to take the face-off. On the other side is shut for Utah. And moved over, controlled by Izzy German. Izzy German knocks it off the near boards, coming ahead with it, Eliasson. Eliasson with a shot. Good job to block that was Stevenson. Stevenson into the near corner. And puck pulled onto the near circle, sent out to the high slot. Izzy German with a shot and a good save by Griswold. And pulled back behind, coming along the near boards is Shut. Fires it back into the neutral zone where Kolwich fires it in. And knocked away by Griswold onto the near circle. Stevenson sends it all the way down the ice. Tipped off of Izzy German's stick, so she'll come back behind the goal. Into the far corner, stolen away by Cruikshank. Cruikshank out in front. Oh, that puck wouldn't settle down. Bringing it back the other direction. Here comes Michigan as Ceballos brings it in. Into the near corner. Ceballos has that tipped away as Hendy fires it back to the near point, held in by Michigan. Katie German sends it, but that grab. Hendry puts it into the neutral zone. Coming the other direction, Crookshanks fires it deep as Utah goes for a line change. Katie German comes in front of her own goal, sends it to Rubin down the near boards. Rubin tips it and comes into the near corner. Fish chases it there, pulls it in along the end boards. Rubin has it on the far circle. That tipped away by Fish, gathered in. Katie German with a shot out in front. And a save somehow. Griswold got it. As sweeping by, Rubin trying to get the rebound. But Griswold, both goaltenders have come up huge in this game. Rubin versus Hansen. That comes back high slot. Into the near corner it goes. Forehand had it. Now Lindahl in the near corner. Lindahl back to forehand at the near point. Forehand with a shot that goes just wide to the near side. Gathering it in. Kistner has it right in front of her own goal. Kistner comes over in along the near boards. Kistner puts it into the neutral zone. Gathered in by Evans. Evans trying to feed it ahead. Here comes Lindahl. And poked away. Good job by Kistner, but gotten back. Here comes Evans outside the near circle. Over to forehand. Back over to Evans. That grabbed in the slot. Lindahl trying to pull it away. And knocked away by Weber. Cleared back to the near point. Now here comes Hansen. Hansen has that knocked away by Katie German, but right back to Caps. Top of the near circle. Caps trying to get it. Centering attempt. That pulled away by Lindahl. Lindahl sends it into the neutral zone. Here comes Katie German on the near circle. Katie German into the slot. That just behind a waiting Michigan player, DeCreasy. Would have had an opportunity. That puck down, as that is going to be a tripping call. As a collision right in front of the Utah box, and Michigan will be shorthanded as Simmer goes into the box for tripping. That at 11:01, Michigan penalty, as that faceoff will be in the far faceoff circle. That to the left of Poneth. Shut in to take the faceoff. Michigan shorthanded on the penalty kill. That puck held in, top of the near circle. Stevenson trying to come in. That grab fired. Again held in. Bye-bye. And into the near corner. Pulled back. Coming in along. Bailey has it back behind the goal. Bailey underneath the near circle or far circle. That over to Stevenson with a shot that goes wide. Right through the slot. Over onto the outside the far circle. Bailey sends it back to the far point. Now Stevenson back to Bailey. Bailey on that far circle. That goes just to the far side. Now coming over. By has it at the near point. Over to Stevenson on the far circle. Oh, that puck wouldn't settle down. Here comes DeCreasy the other direction. DeCreasy over center ice. DeCreasy top of the far circle. Trying to get to Matthews. Wouldn't settle down over there for Matthews. Matthews outside the near circle. As that comes back, Matthews trying to poke it away, shut, and now Stevenson moves it outside the far circle. Trying to come and put right back into the near corner. Stevenson has it there. Stevenson brings it ahead. And through the neutral zone, here comes Crookshank. Crookshank gains his own, poked away from behind, but Caps has it. Caps has that deflected into the far corner. Crookshank moves it to Caps. Caps out underneath the near circle into the near corner. That comes back to the near point. Hendry has it. That knocked all the way down, cleared. 30 seconds left to go in the Utah power play. Hendry has it back behind her own goal. 9:27 left to go here in the third, 2-1. Michigan with the lead, but Utah has had some pressure in this power play. Hansen has it, top of the near circle. And poked away, Swanson trying to get it. Hansen maintains it. Now Crookshanks back, top of the near circle to Kistner. That loose, Swanson brings it back in along the near boards. Chasing it, Swanson grabs it. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Michigan back to full strength. Swanson into the Utah zone. And puck, Malashevsky has it on the far circle. Malashevsky and a whistle. That's going to be a tripping call. As that at 8:46 into the box. As that is going to be Hendry going into the box for tripping. So now Michigan on the power play and Utah on the penalty kill for the next 2 minutes. Michigan would love to get a little bit more breathing room with another goal. Utah wants to get it all knotted up here in the third. That's swept out and all the way down the neutral zone into the Michigan zone. Rubin moves it over to Katie German. Katie German on the near circle. That pulled back by Shutt. Shutt has it. Shutt on the near circle trying to make a move. That pulled away. Here comes Evans. Evans. And puck over. Bringing it ahead is Katie German. Katie German over to Swanson, top of the near circle. Swanson loses the puck and wouldn't settle down. Shutt has it. Shutt puts it in along the far boards of the neutral zone. 1 minute, 25 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Rubin has it along the near boards of the Michigan zone. Rubin gets it ahead. Here comes Proctor. Proctor gains the zone. Proctor on the near circle. Proctor back behind Griswold. Now underneath the far circle, Proctor goes. Proctor outside the far circle. Hansen comes over to put on pressure. Swanson pinned against the boards. Pinned against the end boards. Gets it back over to Proctor. Proctor underneath the far circle. Banks it off of the far boards. Proctor has that poked away. Now coming over. DeCreasy trying to get it. That slips back into the neutral zone. 48 seconds left to go here in the power play. Katie German sends it back on the near circle. Babai fires it all the way down the ice. Proctor stops it there. DeCreasy picks it up. Top of the near circle of her own zone. DeCreasy fires it ahead. Here comes Simmer. Simmer. Top of the near circle. Simmer outside the near circle. Back over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy had the first goal of the game. Shot. It got through, and it's underneath. It's on the netting. Back behind the net as if you're not the NCAA team, you don't get those fresh starched white nets that are very tight in the back, and those pucks can get kind of up and on the back of the netting. Face-off in the near face-off circle. Gargiulo in to take the face-off. On the other side is Caps. DeCreasy takes it. 17 seconds left to go. Right through the slot. That held in by Levinson with a shot that goes wide. 10 seconds left in the power play. Knocked down. Caps has it on the near circle. Caps backhands it. Held in by Gargiulo, who puts it into the near corner. Utah back to full strength. 6:45 left to go here in the third. As Hendry races over, that will be icing as that was fired after the penalty had expired. That will come back into the Utah zone. Face-off will be to Griswold's left in the near face-off circle. Again, we appreciate you joining and cheering for these teams wherever you are at, whichever team you cheer for. Appreciate your support of these amazing athletes in this fantastic game of women's hockey. Eliasson in to take the face-off. And Caps put it into the near corner. Held in at the near point. Trying to dig to it is Izzy German. Izzy German trying to grab that. Ceballos there as well. That pull back, fired in. That tipped off of skate into the far corner. There's Goldman with a shot that deflects back into the near corner. Beck trying to move it ahead. That pull back. Ceballos with a shot and a save by Griswold. Cross-check the call coming up. Michigan will go back on the power play as into the box goes Beck for a cross-check. That at 6:11. 2-1 lead for Michigan. They now have the extra attacker for the next 2 minutes. Utah has been very good on the penalty kill. And puck into the near corner. Pulling it away, Fish brings it ahead. Hansen knocks it off the near boards, gathered up by Rubin back at her own blue line. Gets it over. Here comes Evans brings it in. Evans, top of the near circle. Drop back to Katie German. Katie German has that deflected away. Here comes a breakaway. Hansen has it. Hansen coming in. Hansen with a shot. Saved by Poneth. Well, they don't call her one of the best goaltenders in the country for nothing. Hansen had a couple beautiful dekes, and Poneth able to make a save. Here comes Rubin back in along the end boards. That pull back in front. Lindahl trying to get to it. As 1 minute, 18 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. All the way back, Katie German picks it up and along the near boards, bringing it ahead. Katie German moves it over at her blue line. She goes down, her knees on the ice, but still manages to move it over into Utah zone, pulling it ahead. Shut. Fires it down in along the near boards. Gargiulo chases it. 1 minute, 5 seconds left to go. In the third period, 54 seconds left in the Michigan power play. Crookshanks has it outside the far circle. Trying to bring it ahead. Crookshank steals it away. Shutt has it on the far circle. Shutt coming in as that shot saved by Poneth. Back behind into the near corner. Levinson trying to get to it. Now Matthews, that puck loose. Trying to pull it out of the zone. Held in by Crookshank. Crookshanks with the shot. Another pad save by Poneth. That outside the near circle. Michigan still on the power play for 27 seconds, but lots of pressure coming by Utah into the far corner. Gargiulo has it. Gargiulo as that poked away by Crookshanks. That comes back over. Shot had it. Now here comes Michigan. DeCreasy coming down the boards. DeCreasy on the far circle. DeCreasy with a shot and Griswold with the save. 7 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. Although Utah almost has more shots on the penalty kill than Michigan does on the power play on this one. Poneth with an amazing save on a Hansen breakaway. Hansen did everything she could, and Poneth just made a circus save. Caps again in the faceoff versus Malashevsky. Shot from the far circle goes wide outside the near circle. Izzy German has it. Utah back to full strength now. Swanson trying to put it out in front. Swanson underneath the far circle. Makes a move, trying to avoid pressure by Kistner. And puck loose outside the crease on the far side. Pulling it away, Kistner moves it over on the near side to Caps. 3:55 left to go. That puck saved on the near circle. Another shot by Kistner and a save by Poneth. 3:48 left to go here in the third. 2-1 Michigan with the lead. Michigan trying to hang on to win here. Lots of pressure coming from Utah. Gargiulo in to take the faceoff versus Hansen, who had that breakaway. Caps puts it back to the blue line. That knocked off of the near boards. Izzy German rims it all the way around the boards. That comes back to the far point. Hendry sends it right back into the far corner. Gargiulo fires it. That grab by with a shot. Out over to the far side. Pulled back. Poneth with the save, and then Gargiulo got it out of harm's way. She's pinned against the boards. That brought all the way back to the near point. That grabbed, and that will be a penalty. Roughing the call. As going into the box is Kistner. For roughing that at 3:24. 3 straight Utah penalties, but they've been able to kill off all the power plays so far that Michigan has had. As that puck back to the blue line, put into the far corner. Levinson trying to put it down. That fired all the way back deep. DeCreasy chasing it. Poneth leaves it for DeCreasy. DeCreasy goes back behind the Michigan goal. Shutt providing pressure. Here comes Matthews up the far boards of the neutral zone. Matthews gains the zone. Top of the far circle. Now Matthews goes back behind Griswold. Into the near corner. That tipped by Shutt. Matthews still has it. Drop pass over to DeCreasy. DeCreasy with the shot. That into the near corner. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go on the Michigan power play. Simmer has it back behind. 2:45 left to go here in the third. Gargiulo fires it that right through the slot. Comes back to DeCreasy. DeCreasy has it at the near point. And back into the near corner for Simmer. Simmer centering attempt. That got knocked down by Stevenson. DeCreasy comes back outside the near circle. That pulled away. Here comes Shutt. Michigan has defenders back. Shutt. And deflected top of the near circle. Crookshank's shot. That got deflected by Gargiulo. 57 seconds left in the Michigan power play. 2:19 left to go in the third. That puck back into the Utah zone, into the far corner. Wouldn't settle down. Now grabs it and fires it all the way down the ice with Hendry. Into the near corner it goes. Hansen with speed comes back. Evans trying to pull it away. Evans trying to grab it. Now picked up by Katie German. Katie German brings it ahead. Under 2 minutes to go here in the third. 29 seconds left to go in the power play. Katie German with a rising shot that just went over the crossbar. Katie German puts it back behind. Swanson has it. Swanson trying to bring it out in front. Swanson onto the near circle for Evans. Back to Swanson in the near corner. Swanson goes back behind Griswold underneath the far circle. Top of the far circle. Katie German with a shot, and that covered up by Griswold. 6 seconds left to go in the Michigan power play. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go in the third. That puck is going to come out. As the officials over to the scorer's bench. Is it a timeout called? I believe Utah might have called the timeout. Well, let's play a quick message Let's play the short version of the victors, and we will be right back with the remaining 1 minute, 30 seconds here from Yost Dice Arena. Minute, 30 seconds left to go here in the third. 6 seconds left in the penalty to Kistner. And that always provides a little bit of danger there when someone comes out of the penalty box. If someone can hit him with a pass, that can lead to a rush for Utah. We'll also keep our eye on Griswold. Griswold has been amazing. Griswold and Poneth both. We have seen some just outstanding goaltending in these early games, I'm telling you. Matthews versus Hansen in the far face-off circle. Very hard fought, tightly contested game. Back, Kolwich moves it over. Shot saved by Griswold, then shot by Simmer. Kolwich comes in, holds it in. Shot there, just goes wide. Utah back to full strength. 1:17 left to go here in the third. That picked up back behind by Hendry. Hendry into the near corner. Battling with Simmer. That pulled back. Caps trying to get it out. Now that loose. Moved ahead. Now Kistner gets it over. Hansen on the far circle. Hansen loses an edge. And picked back up. Now Matthews trying to get it. Hansen playing it from her knees. Trying to keep control. Now Crookshanks has it. Hansen back up. It's pinned against the boards. 45 seconds left to go. In the third, Michigan trying to get it out of the zone as there's a shot from Shutt that goes wide. Caps, who has a goal, moves it back over, not in this game but earlier, laid into the near corner. Kolwich trying to pull it away back behind the Michigan goal. And moved all the way back to the far point, holding it in his Hansen. Hansen has it at the blue line, high slot. Now backhands it back over to Hendry. Hendry, that puck got knocked down. Matthews has it. 16 seconds left to go. Hansen, drop pass over to Caps. Caps loses it. That poked ahead and all the way down the ice. Henry races over to get it. The goal is empty to our right. 4 seconds left to go. Bringing it ahead. They're going to have to get it far, and that will do it. Really hard fought battle by both of these teams, and we look forward to seeing this Utah team in action in their home rink coming up at next month. But wonderful game between these two. Final is 2-1. Michigan holds on for the lead as now Utah will go over to the west side of the state to play, I believe it was Grand Valley and Aquinas. Michigan has the rest of this weekend off. They will be back in action Friday versus Indiana State University here at Yost Ice Arena. Then they will be on the road over in Fort Wayne to play Indiana State University. For my camera person, Christina Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much for watching these teams, for your support. Have a fantastic rest of your evening. We will be back on air tomorrow with Pioneer High School football versus Monroe.